And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment. With me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for today's episode of Marvel's What If Episode 2, which is gonna be it's a great episode, but it's also a little bit sad due to the fact that this is the last episode. This is the last, I guess, footage or anything we're gonna see of the late Chadwick Boseman playing T'Challa, aka Star-Lord, aka Black Panther. Now, you say Star-Lord. Why am I saying Star-Lord? Well, because this is a What If episode, and in What If you're not sure what they are, it's gonna be little stories throughout the MCU which are canon. They're gonna be telling stories of what if this happened instead of this, and this and this and that. So in this episode, we got to see, instead of Peter Quill being inducted by Yondu and the Ravagers to go to space for Ego, we get to see T'Challa get kidnapped as well, instead of Star-Lord himself, and he becomes Star-Lord. So we get to see Chadwick Boseman play Star-Lord. Obviously not live action, but in voice. He did do the voice, so this is basically his last thing that he actually recorded, which gives me kind of goosebumps thinking about it, because I think it's going to be a year next week that he's been gone. So yeah. Brilliant actor. I mean, gone too soon. True icon for what his performances are, regardless of what it is. He did a really good job. He should have won the Oscar last year for his last live action film, but performance was amazing. Anyway, so let's talk about this episode, because honestly, I think this might be the best episode yet. Obviously, it's still early, but I don't know what's going to top this one, because honestly, I thought that Captain Carter episode was good. And by the way, little back, I made a mistake. I thought Chris Evans did return for his voice work as Steve Rogers. I was wrong. He didn't, so I apologize. I would assume he did, but he did not. So, anyway. So, let's talk about this one. So, we get to see Star-Lord, played by Chadwick Boseman, a.k.a. T'Challa. And he's very different from what Chris Pratt did with Star-Lord. And, you know, because remember, Star-Lord mostly, he's a goofy guy. He loves to do his own thing. You know, he doesn't really, you know, kind of affiliate with the Ravagers. While T'Challa here, he pretty much was kind of like the leader of the Ravagers, and he actually pretty much changed what the Ravagers were known for. They're known for just stealing and doing whatever they want, to basically being heroes. And then when you see some of the bad guys that Ronan sent to try to get the Power Stone, you see them see Star-Lord, and they're like worshiping him. They're like, oh, we're your biggest fans. We should, you know, do we bow to you? What do we do? Because they know how powerful he is, and what a leader he is, and what he's done for the galaxy, and how he changed everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. We obviously get to see the Ravagers as well. A lot of familiar faces like Yondu. The other guy, I forgot his name, who's played by Sean Gunn. He was in it also. Taserface was in it as well. We even got to see some new Ravagers. One played by Josh Brolin, aka Thanos. That's right, Thanos is no longer the Mad Titan. He's a Ravager now, so that's something different. I guess T'Challa pretty much told him, hey man, your whole idea of genocide by snapping your fingers is kind of a little bit too hardcore. Maybe you should just down it down. Go back to Guardian. Maybe you might, you know, mellow it out a little bit. And he did. He kind of patched things up with him and Nebula. Nebula looks more like a girl instead of just being a cyborg with long hair, so that was kind of cool. And yes, she was played by Karen Gillan. I know that for a fact. I double checked. So they all came back. Most of them all came back. So we got to see Star-Lord. You know, he's excited. You know, we even got to see a backstory of how he became who he is when he got kidnapped. Before he got kidnapped, he wanted to see the world. And his father, King T'Chaka, kept saying, no, son, you know, out there's a lot of dangers. The outside world, all they care about is war and greed and all this. But we here, we're peaceful. We keep our family, our people safe. And he wanted to go out there and explore. Kind of reminds me of like, kind of like Little Mermaid a little bit, where Ariel, she wanted to go to the surface and she never got to explore it, but her father kept saying, no, no, the surface world is dangerous. Kind of the same situation, minus the fins. Anyway, so we got to see that, and then when he gets kidnapped, his eyes just get opened up to a whole new world to explore, and that's space. And that's basically what he's been doing throughout his entire adulthood. He grew up as a Ravager, learning the trade, learning how to become who he is. And, you know, he didn't just go there just to steal and just to try to survive. He actually went out there and tried to become, I guess, kind of like a leader. Kind of like what his father, King T'Chaka, was training him to do, to be a leader. You know, to basically be the king of Wakanda. So, in a way, Star-Lord was kind of like the king of space, in a way. You know, he was basically a leader. Everybody worshipped him. Everybody respected him. And, you know, I thought they did a really good job with that and showing us, yeah, Chadwick Boseman, he was the Black Panther. Everybody loved him as the Black Panther. And he was a leader in, in Wakanda and all that. But he was also, as a human being, and obviously in real life, he was more than that. And they show the same thing for his character. T'Challa was very more different than he is as anybody else, you know. Yeah, he kept his, yeah, I'm a king, I gotta be a leader and all that, and we, respect everybody, and he did that. He pretty much helped change what the galaxy is. The galaxy had, yeah, sure, they have some of their scum still up there, but for most of it, it looks more peaceful than what we saw from what the Guardians have given us, you know. When you watch the Guardians movies, it's like, yeah, like there's crime everywhere, you know. Thanos is the most feared person in the, the galaxy. Everybody's scared of him. But in this one, they just all like, everything's like peaceful. It's crazy how awesome they did that. And, speaking of Mad Titans, they kind of made one here in a way where you got to see Benicio del Toro come back as a collector. And he was basically kind of like the new kingpin of the crime world. So we got to see him that in Nowhere. So that was kind of cool. And obviously he's still doing the same thing, collecting. We got to see them. Apparently he has like this green crystal that makes plants or something. I'm not really sure what it was. And obviously Star-Lord wanted to get that, steal it back. So that's cool. And also pretend to trade the Power Stone. Although I don't think they ever showed us that was the Power Stone inside the little orb. He did have the orb, and it was the same orb that Peter Quill found when it was a Power Stone. So I would assume we got to see other characters as well. We got to see the Black Order work for the Collector. That was cool. We saw Howard the Duck, Cosmo the Space Dog. Apparently the Collector had, like, I guess, Hela's, the goddess of death, Thor's sister, her crown, and he was able to use her powers. So that was pretty cool when he was fighting Star-Lord and he was fighting Yondu. So we got to see that. We also got to hear the story about what actually happened to Wakanda. Apparently Wakanda got destroyed and attacked, and they pretty much are there were like no more. That's what he heard, but he wasn't really sure what exactly went down. Then he finds out that Wakanda send the Dozimilani after him to try to go find him, and basically Wakanda's been looking for him his whole life. And then of course he started blaming Yondu, and we got to see that. That was pretty cool. And of course the ending of this was very cool. We got to see Star-Lord, T'Challa, go back to his home of Wakanda, reunite with his father. So King T'Chaka is still the king of Wakanda, which is awesome. So he did not die in Civil War, because apparently maybe Civil War didn't even happen yet, or it will happen but very differently, so we have to wait. But overall, I think they did a really good job with this episode. I really enjoyed it. Seeing Chadwick Boseman play Star-Lord was very cool, and I guess he got the player. Maybe I hope they can do like a behind the scenes of how they made this. Maybe we get to hear his last interview about how he felt by kind of making King T'Challa kind of like a Ravager, but also a kind of a leader kind of character. And I thought that really worked really well for this, because when you watch it, you basically seen him be a leader with the Ravagers, and they're like his family. but he's basically helped change what the galaxy is and what it looked like now. So that was pretty cool. And of course, the very ending, we also got to see Peter Quill just be a normal dude working at Dairy Queen. And then, of course, Eagle shows up, says, "Hey, Peter, I'm your father," played by Kurt Russell. So that was kind of cool. So, would that be a story? What if Star-Lord or Peter Quill becomes a bad guy? We have to wait and see what happens. But overall, great episode. Might be my favorite so far. We have to wait and see what happens next. But, yeah, seeing it, this was his last episode. It's kind of sad. He was a great actor, great person. So, yeah, he will be missed. And he rest in peace. So, and always, Wakanda forever. So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. And what are you guys looking forward to the most for the next episodes, whatever that is. And leave a comment below what you guys thought about this episode in particular. And what was your favorite Black Panther moment? Or what's your favorite Chadwick Boseman film? For me, if I don't count the Black Panther movies, I think I'm gonna have to, I think I might have to go Mama's Black Raimi movie, his last movie that he literally just did. That movie was incredible. I thought he did a really good job. Him and Viola Davis was like perfection. Anyway, great actor. He will be missed. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. Thank you very much and have a good day.